Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be moving into my new bullet journal. So this has been my trusty bullet journal for the first half of 2022. I got this notebook from the Notebook Therapy. It just has this little golden outline of a fox sleeping on the cover page, and look how thick she's gotten in the past 6 months. But for now, I'm going to be migrating into my new bullet journal. So for the second half of the year, I am deciding to use this bullet journal from Arch and Olive instead. This is going to be my first bullet journal from Arch and Olive, and I actually got it in one of their subscription boxes. It's been sitting for quite a bit because I think I got it quite a few months back. Can I just say how beautiful this box is? This is how the bullet journal looks like. It is super pretty. It's also once again a golden outline. This has a cloth-like material and it has 160 dot grid pages, 160 GSM as well. It allows me to use my watercolors and all of my different markers without fear of ghosting or bleeding through. Flip her out of the sleeve. It comes with 2 ribbons. Their ribbons actually has the Arch and Olive logo on it. Looks super pretty. So without further ado, let's set this bullet journal up. So first things first, I'm just writing my name on the cover page, and this time around for the entire setup of my bullet journal, I'm planning to use these sort of bubble letters because I think it looks pretty cute and I wanted a break away from the normal cursive lettering that I normally do. And then afterwards, I'm using my Pentel brush sign pen, and these are one of my favorite brush pens because I love how they are a really good balance between how soft they are and yet they are not too soft, and they have some rigidity to the brush pens, which allows for a really good control. So I'm just using these ones because I have a good selection of colors. My theme for the setting up for my bullet journal is going to be pretty simple. I kind of wanted it to be linked to when I set up my bullet journal for the first half of the year. If you guys want to go check it out, the link is on the top right hand corner. My first half of the year was floral, and so I decided to bring it in for the second half of the year as well. So I'm just trying to do it as minimalistic as possible because I didn't have enough time to set up my bullet journal, so I really wanted something quick and easy and yet still pleasing to the eye. So I'm just using a variety of colors and drawing different floral designs all around. So firstly, I of course have to start with a 2022 page to just kind of signal the start of a bullet journal. I really like to write the year as well and make it look really pretty because I feel like it just sets the tone for the rest of the bullet journal, and also it's just a really good indicator, I guess, of which year bullet journal was made. So in the future when I look back, it's just really easy to see which bullet journal was used in which year. So I'm just writing 2022 in block numbers. Afterwards, I'm just filling up the background with different florals as well. Of course, prior to starting up my bullet journal, I actually tried out all the different colors and chose a selection of different green, yellow and red just to have a variety of colors, so that even though it's something super simple, visually it looks really nice and cohesive as well. This was actually really fun to set up because it was just really mindless after a while, and after you get the hang of drawing the different florals, it just gets easier. Just a little disclaimer that I didn't come up with these florals on the spot. I actually thought of maybe 5 different floral designs to draw out so that I could just repeat them throughout all of my spreads. After that is done, I realized I didn't really like how 2022 looked like, so I decided that I wanted it to be black instead, just to create a greater contrast between the numbers as well as the floral designs in the background. So I'm just coloring them in with my black Tombow marker. And with that, we are moving on to the next page, which is my grid layout. I always like this grid layout to be the first proper spread on the left hand side of the page, so that it is really easy for me to flip to and to just refer to whenever I am setting up my bullet journal spreads. I think this spread is really essential in every single bullet journal, even though after a while I kind of can remember how many squares there are I think it's always just a good reference to have. Irregardless, I just decided to write them out with my different colored markers as well. These pens are called Emots Everfine. I think that's what they're called. I got it from Japan. The colors are super pastel, really nice to draw with, and I felt that the color selection that these pens offered were really similar to the brush markers that I've been using as well. So I decided to use them for my grid spacing as well. Afterwards, I'm just marking my spread with the words grid spacing and then just drew some florals on the bottom of the page just to tie it up with the overall theme that I have. On the right hand side is a little quote page. It is nothing too complicated. It just says give yourself grace. I think I had a similar quote as well last year or this year. Yeah, I just felt that I really wanted to remind myself to give myself grace. I think a lot of times we are always so hard on ourselves, or maybe I should say I am too hard on myself. I always just want to achieve so many things. Whenever I fail to achieve them, I just get really demoralized, and I think this is just a really good reminder to always give myself grace and to give myself space to grow, because little by little I'm getting closer to where I want to be. I think sometimes I just have to remind myself that that is enough and to just give myself grace. So I decided to do the lettering first and then to draw the florals to just fill up the page. I didn't actually do any sketch, so I was really freehanding where I wanted the florals to be at. It was mostly just me eyeballing it and seeing which colors were missing in certain places and then just adding them in. And after I'm done, I am moving on to my future log. And this is something that I've used quite often as well, especially this year. Last year, I remember I didn't really use it that much, but this year I started to use it more and I realized how useful it actually is, because there are certain things that I have planned that are months in advance. And of course, I don't have my bullet journal spread set up yet for those months. So a future log is super important in these kinds of cases. What I decided to do for this bullet journal was, since I only had 6 months left of 2022, I decided to do the future log for the next 6 months in 2022 as well as for the first 6 months of 2023. Reason being was because last year I remembered I only set up the future log for the remaining 6 months of 2021, and then I realized that there were certain events that I already had planned in 2022 that I couldn't write down anywhere. So I decided that this was actually a better way to do things. So I just drew them out, and honestly, I like how my layout was done for my bullet journal for the first half of the year. So that's why I decided to use the same layout for this bullet journal as well. I think I honestly don't have that many events planned in the far future. So honestly, I don't need that much space for each month. This is like just sufficient for me. And of course, just did a small layer of florals in the middle to just demarcate the different months from 2022 and 2023. It gives me kind of washi tape vibes as well. I am moving on to my 2 spreads, which are mostly for fun, and those are just my books to read and my shows to watch spreads. These spreads are really fun to make. I think I may not appreciate them that much now, but in the future when I look back, it'll be just really nice to see what I was into, be it reading or watching. I think it'll just be good to just look back and reminisce about things. And also because my goal for 2022 is to read 7 books this year. Sounds really little, but that's because I really stopped reading. There was a period of time when I was younger when I read so extensively, and somewhere along the way I just stopped reading completely, and here's me trying to get back to reading again. That's all I have for the setup for the second half of the year. It's super simple and honestly super fun to make. I think I took perhaps just an evening to set all these spreads up. I think it looks super cute. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!